And here we are on another Friday. And if those of you are watching it live, we're having snow in the middle of April. So the fireplace seems to be very appropriate. I'm Eric Witherspoon. I'm the superintendent of Evanston Township High School, and I'm joined by
Marcus Campbell, assistant superintendent and principal here at ETHS.
And Marcus and I are going to provide an update today, and the focus of it is going to be more on what we're doing about just making sure everybody is handling this the best they can, and everybody is feeling some sense of well-being. We know that our students and our staff are really missing ETHS. It's so interesting when we have a break like a spring break coming up, everybody is ready to go off for spring break. But when we realize that we get into weeks and now a longer period of time that we can't be together, it really does start to hurt. And we're missing you, and I know that you're missing one another. So the focus of our discussion today is going to be around this idea. It's not business as usual, but we do have to watch out for our own well-being. So Marcus?
Thank you, Eric. 1 month ago today, March 17th, our e-learning program began. And today, April 17th, we are still engaging in our e-learning process as a result of this global pandemic. Within weeks of e-learning behind us, having all of that behind us, we know that our strength and resilience is important now more than ever because this is much more prolonged than we anticipated and that we thought. And with that, we know it's not getting any easier. So we want to spend some time today talking about mental health, well-being, because our physical, mental, emotional health is important in these unprecedented times. So we want to make sure that we take some time today to acknowledge that, and I'm going to give this back over to Eric.
So I really want to be sure that we understand that our students have issues, just the fact that you're teenagers, and being cooped up in the house and being under a stay-at-home order is not easy. I can tell you that it's not easy on the adults. And so one of the things that we are really trying to do is provide different kinds of supports for all of our students. And those supports are listed in many ways on our website, where we have a section on COVID. And you can be looking at that and realizing all of the different resources that are available to you. But in addition, many of you have been hearing from staff here at ETHS. Our staff is doing a phenomenal job of reaching out and a phenomenal job of trying to connect with students. And I'll talk about that a little bit more when we wrap up today, but it's a really important part of what's going on right now. We need to stay connected with one another. Marcus?
Yeah. So this conversation is for our students, is for our staff, is for our families, because we know that everyone has been affected by this. There are many ways, different ways that all of us have been impacted by this global pandemic, particularly with anxiety. There's been a heightened sense of anxiety, family members, staff members, students, and we just want to recognize and acknowledge that this is an uncertain time, and dealing with so much uncertainty on a day-to-day basis is very difficult. So just acknowledging that and sitting with that and being okay with that is the purpose of our broadcast today. So with that, we are looking for ways to reduce that anxiety. And first, I want to thank that everyone who has been working very hard, but we do have a coronavirus response page on the ETHS website that is full of resources. Please take a look at that resource page, because we have a lot of information that we have been sharing with you with regard to that. Our Student Services Department has put together a number of useful resources. There is a section called Navigating the Emotional Landscape of COVID-19. There are local resources as well as state and national resources in that section on the website. It is also important that we remind ourselves about the Acknowledge, Care, Tell campaign and framework that we've been talking about here at ETHS for quite some time. This is a way to support our well-being, the well-being of our students, and encourage every member of our school community to follow up with a safe and positive learning environment. You can still find the Acknowledge, Care, Tell information on our COVID response page, and we're reminding you today that these steps are really important. The acknowledge step, and that is acknowledge warning signs and anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, worried, or frightened, and recognize that something is wrong and take it seriously. So acknowledge it. Care for your students, care for family, care for friends, listen to them, and tell them that you care, and tell a trusted adult if you're worried or have concerns about your well-being or the well-being of others. So acknowledge, care, tell, ACT is the acronym there. ETHS students who are in need of support may contact the social work office at 847-424-7230. It is really important to know that ETHS social workers are still supporting students remotely. That's really important. Students, do not hesitate to contact the social worker if you need to talk about your feelings or anxiety, and if you need to know where to go to for help. These resources are available on the Navigating the Emotional Landscape of COVID-19 on the website. Dr. Witherspoon.
I'd also like to take a minute and give a shout out to our teachers. So often I think that we just take for granted that school is continuing and that students are getting their assignments and attending classes every day. But I want to remind everybody that our teachers are just like everybody else in this society. We're all dealing with the anxiety and the stress of a pandemic, of a virus that could touch any household, could touch any family. And our teachers are home with their own families. Many of them have children in the household that they have to attend to, and of course, other loved ones in their household as well. But at the same time, they're doing lesson plans. They're making plans for classes every single day. They're going online. They're getting very creative and inventive on ways to engage students in their learning activities. And they're doing this all on top of everything else that's going on in the news and everything that's going on just in everybody's lives. So a word then to all of our staff and our teachers. We know that you are going the whole distance and more. We know that everything that we're doing now is the kind of things we would have been doing before the pandemic, but it takes 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 times the effort to make it happen. And so this is not a time where people are just lounging around and not doing things. It's just the opposite. People are working so very hard. We have essential employees who are coming into this high school every single day, doing social distancing and doing the things that keep this school going. So staff, you take care of yourselves too. We're here for you. If you need to contact Marcus or me, absolutely do. I mean, we're available to you. But also, be continuing, and I know many of you and most of you are, contacting not only family and friends, but be in contact with colleagues and people that you work with and that you are part of your life every day when we're here at ETHS. Because we need to remember the ETHS family is here for one another. And even when we miss one another, we can still be a part of one another's lives. Marcus?
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Eric. We want to connect with you. I sent an email to our department chairs asking to visit department meetings because I want to see our teachers virtually. I'm missing the students. I know Dr. Witherspoon is too. There's no cafeterias for him to walk, you know, when there are no students here. And we want to connect with you. So teachers, if you would like to invite us to your Zoom classroom meetings, please feel free to do that. I would love to see the kids, and so would he. But we can't pretend like these virtual meetings take place of the real thing, but it's one of the ways that we can, one of the positive things that we can do to keep our spirits up is to connect with each other virtually. Yesterday, we shared some information about the Be the Light Challenge. Yes, seniors, this is for the class of 2020. As we continue to hold you close to our hearts, we thought that we would engage in a gesture that some other schools are doing, which we thought was a pretty good idea. At 8:20 tonight, 8:20 p.m., we are going to turn on the lights at Lazier Field in a way to recognize the class of 2020. We hope that everyone who was able to be a part of this effort will turn on a light outside of their home to shine the light on the class of 2020 to those students everywhere. So we will share photos of the lights at Lazier Field, so you do not need to come to the school. Please do not come to Lazier Field tonight. We're not encouraging gathering at all. We're simply going to turn on the lights at 8:20 tonight for 20 minutes to acknowledge the class of 2020. So just share your own lights. That's what we're asking you to do. Your flashlights, porch lights, and other lights. Use the hashtag #WildKidsShine and be the light. Let's make Evanston as bright as we can for the class of 2020. There are also a couple of other things coming up. April 22nd is Earth Day. I was working with a group of students. We had plans to do some things for Earth Day on Wednesday, the 22nd. So please, let's recognize Earth Day as we can. You know, sustainability and climate change is something that's really real with our community and our world. So let's just acknowledge that. And also April 29th is Denim Day. And millions of people around the world will wear jeans with a purpose. We will be sharing information with our students in the coming days to contribute and continue our efforts around sexual assault awareness. It is an important initiative that Student Services has organized in the past school years, and this initiative heightens awareness that home is not a safe place for everyone. There will be efforts worldwide to connect people with resources online and by phone. In our school community, we will be sharing that message that we are the solution. We also want to take a minute and recognize that we know that everyone cannot watch this broadcast in real time. So we want to let you know that this is being uploaded and shared and you can watch it on demand. We also recognize that it is shared and this conversation is happening in one language. So we recognize that. We just want to bring that and surface that for everyone. But if you watch it online, there are ways to which you can watch this broadcast in multiple languages. And I'm going to turn this back over to Dr. Witherspoon.
And I just want to remind everybody that this is really a reminder that we are all community. You know, a public school is a community school. It is supported by the community. The children of the community attend the public schools, and generationally, the public schools are a centerpiece of a community. We know that's really true in Evanston. ETHS is really a crown jewel. In fact, I would say the crown jewel of this community. This high school is a center of so much of the heartbeat and the life of this community. Even when you don't have students or yourself attending this school, we still all understand the importance of having a place in the community that is a centerpiece where we all come together and where we all gather for so many of those important things in just the life of a community. So I want to thank the community for what you have done to help support us. I can tell you, because I interact with them constantly, our mayor and community leaders are doing an amazing job of trying to take care of all the citizens here in Evanston. And I also want to give a shout out. I know we see this a lot on the media, but we can't say it enough, to our first responders. Let's remember that we have so many people who are frontline providers in this community. So many people who are every day putting themselves on the line so that they can provide for the safety and the well-being of all of the rest of us. So keep it in mind, we're a community. We have members of this community who are absolutely giving of themselves every day, and each of us needs to be giving to one another. Marcus, I'll throw it to you, and then I'll be back for a couple of closing remarks.
Thank you, Eric. Just a couple things as we wrap up. Our students know that they receive a daily check-in form for each e-learning day. This form is being now used for more than attendance. We have added some additional questions to make sure that we can be as responsible and responsive to you as possible. There is now a question to find out if you need assistance with your Chromebook or internet access. Another question has been added to ask if you want to talk with a social worker, counselor, or a psychologist. Students, we really want to make sure that you are well and that we connect with you on a regular basis. Right now, the best way for us to do that is through the check-in form. So please, when you take time to do attendance, we want to know how you're doing, if you need assistance with your Chromebook, and if you need assistance with internet or any other supports, we want to know that. And I'm going to turn this back over to Dr. Witherspoon for a final closing.
Thank you, Marcus. And I just want to talk a minute then about going forward. We will have the day that we will get this building reopened, and all of our students out there, except our seniors, already know that they'll be coming back. Seniors, I know that it's really uncertain for you. And today at 2:30, Governor Pritzker is going to be making an announcement about education here in our state. I can't tell you exactly what he might say, but I think it is going to have a big impact on what happens to ETHS and schools in the state of Illinois going forward. So I want to say a couple of things. If he does announce that we have remote learning for the remainder of the school year, do know that we will do everything that is necessary to provide all of our students with the education that they deserve and they need. But students, if we're not back soon, it becomes even more important than ever for you to remember, you have to get your credits. We can't give credits away if a person has not been making their best effort to attend school. So it's just critical. You need to be getting online every day. Over 3,000 of our students are attending classes every day here at ETHS. It's vital that you complete your credits. And a reminder, Dr. Bavis was on here earlier in the week, that if somebody is not attending, they're going to receive incompletes. An incomplete is not a credit in a course. And there would be a time frame to make up those incompletes. But to fall behind now when there's time to be keeping up with your studies would just not make any sense at all. So one of the most important things is stay connected to ETHS, stay connected to your classes, be doing your work so that you indeed are earning your credits here at ETHS. But the other thing to know, we cannot continue school activities, whether that be sports, performances, prom, graduation, until the governor announces that schools are reopening. So if we are learning that we remain on remote learning, that also means that we are unable to continue all those other activities related to school. And if that were to happen even throughout the remainder of the school year, I just pledge to you, we will continue to look for ways to supplement that and to replace some of those things the best that we possibly can. And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be what we want, but if that's what we have to do, that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And I just then want to lift up something that Dr. Campbell already talked about. So tonight at 8:20, for 20 minutes, the class of 2020 is going to be celebrated in this community. No, don't come to Legier Field, but I know from many, many experiences over the years, you look up in the sky, and I'll bet you from anywhere in Evanston, you'll see the reflection of that Legier Field brightly lit across our community. And turn on your lights, turn on the light on your smartphone, whatever it is, and celebrate the class of 2020. Because no matter what the challenges we face in this family, it's a great day to be a wild kid.